ब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ महेश्वराय नमः। ॐ विष्णवे नमः। ॐ ताण्डवे नमः। ॐ भरताय नमः। ॐ अभिनवगुप्तपादाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ प्रणम्य शिरसा देवो पितामहमहेश्वरो नाट्यशास्त्रं प्रवक्ष्यामि ब्रह्मणा यदुदाहृतम्।
Is Bhujangatrasitam.
Yeah, 24th Karana, Bhujangatrasitam.
We have come to Nrtta now.
Yes.
Bhujangatrasitam is a very important Karana, and this Karana proves that Bharata's Natya Shastra is older than the Agama Shastras. According to Agama Shastras, the Nataraja figure, the Ananda Tandava Nataraja figure, was construed. And what was the inspiration for this figure? It was this Karana, 24th Karana, Bhujangatrasita. It is from this Karana that the present Ananda Tandava figure was evolved by our sculptors. Nataraja figure, everybody knows. This is the static posture that we find in Nataraja icons. There is something to precede and something to follow. Precede, and what follows is this. Only then the Karana is complete. So 24th Karana, Bhujangatrasitam, is a very important Karana, which also gives clues with regard to the date of Natya Shastra.
Bharata says, Kunchitam padam ukshipya trashramuram vivartayet katijan vivartacha bhujangatrasitam bhavet.
Bhujangatrasitam is that action in which a Kunchita Pada is raised.
Kunchita Pada, not Anchita.
And the thigh, hip and knee are turned. Then you flap. So Abhinavagupta says that the foot is to perform the Bhujangatrasita Chari with the respective hand moving as Dola. Abhinavagupta says the other hand has to be Kataka Mukha.
Yes.
This is seen in Kumbakonam sculpture.
So with Kataka Mukha, and then you finish.
Abhinavagupta also gives Sarpatrasa avishtasyeva gatihi samvarte bhujangatrasitam karanam. When a serpent is moving, how we lift our leg due to fear, like that the leg is flat and that is moved. So it goes by the nature itself.
By the way, it is also important to mention this to the youngsters. It doesn't mean that Shiva was frightened of the serpent. Or immediately new Purana will be
unwanted Purana
will be evolved. This is showing the action of being frightened of a serpent. It's an enactment. Doesn't mean that Shiva was frightened of cobras.
Abhinavagupta clearly gives Uparaha Katakasya iti karanam. Etat sadrishyattu Bhujangatrasitachari vakshati. Bhujangatrasitachari is also associated with this. So
there is Bhujanganchitaka, Bhujangalalita, Bhujanga, actually Nagapasarpita. Quite a few of the Karanas, at least 4 or 5 of them, are based on the same chari. If you see Chola period Nataraja of 12th century, then the foot will be perfect kunchita. The lifted leg has a kunchita pada, arched sole, and hence Shiva himself has a name Kunchita pada. And if you see a Pandyan sculpture of Nataraja, it will be slightly protruded in the front. Frontla கொஞ்சம் knee length frontல அவ்வளோ குஞ்சிதம் இருக்காது, ஃப்ரண்ட்ல ப்ரொட்ரூட் ஆகும். லைக் புஜங்காஞ்சிதகம், லைக் புஜங்காஞ்சிதகம் மஹதி புஜங்காஞ்சிதகம். It's like moving forward, zigzag movement. So this is the Nataraja that you find in Pandyan
sculptures.
Natarajas. Choda Natarajas are following Bhujangatrasitam. This is a subtle difference I wanted to record here.
Very revealing, very revealing. So when the Chodas constructed the temple along with the Karanas, then perhaps the sculptors would have revisited Natya Shastra and burnished their knowledge of Natya Shastra.
Even before the temples were built, the Nataraja figure has been there as Bhujangatrasitam even from Pallava period. So that has been there. There is a beautiful Pallava Nataraja in Madras Museum from a village called Kuram. It has a perfect Bhujangatrasitam with Kunchita Padam. And the bells, the gungru is very different. They are elongated, long oblong type bells, which you don't find anywhere else. It's only in that Nataraja you see that. But later, some of the best Nataraja pieces are, of course, Shivapuram Nataraja became very famous because it was smuggled out. For several years it was smuggled out and it was then brought back. You have Karai Veeram Nataraja. This is another exquisite bronze of 12th century. It is now in safe custody in Shikkal temple. It's not in puja. Some of these are all now locked and kept for safety.
At the behest of His Holiness Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati, Sri Shankaracharya of Kanchikamukoti Peetam, the well-known Ananda Tandava figure of Nataraja was sculpted in between the figures of Satara Devi and Satara Shiva. In Prambanan, figure 1 has the right knee crossed and lifted on the left. This is juxtaposed behind the main figure. The hands in Abhaya and Varada show the beginning of Dola Nrtta Hasta, that is, it shows the stage before what is seen in Tanjavur. Prambanan third figure at the back is missing and only a part of the shank, maybe the left, and a part of the chest along with the right hand, which denotes the Vyavarta movement marking the beginning of the Karana, can be recognized on very careful viewing. The center figure has the right hand flowingly stretched on the left and the left hand is near the head. The right foot is slightly lifted in front in Mandalasthana. The toes are damaged. The left hand suggests that the hand has to reach Rechita position and then get lowered as Dola. The Kari Hasta gets oscillated.
Shall we go to Urdhvajana? 25th Karana. Kunchitam padamutchipya janustana samam nyase prayoga vashagau hasta urdhvajanu prakirtitam.
When the foot is raised as Kunchita with its knee at the level of the chest, along with the suitable action of the hands, it is called Urdhvajanu. Abhinavagupta clarifies the obscurity of the actions of the hands in Bharata's definition.
Yes.
When the foot is raised, the respective hand must also be raised above the knee, either as Alapallava or Arala. The other hand is near the chest as Katakamukha.
Yes.
So, inge vandittu. So, what she has done is she has combined both
I've combined both.
Alapallava and Suchi. So, it goes as Alapallava and then
then
finishes
stretched.
as Suchi.
Instead of just stretching like that,
Uh-huh.
just இப்படி ஸ்ட்ரெச் பண்றதுக்கு பதிலா இப்படி
Alapallava.
போய் அப்படி ஸ்ட்ரெச் பண்ற மாதிரி combining both the
Alapallava, Arala.
Ah. And Arala.
Tatra,
and
Paksha,
you have a very beautiful sculpture of this in Prambanan in central Java, which completely coincides with tallies with even the weight shifting that I had designed for this Karana at Satara. It's amazing that what I designed for Satara is exactly what I found in central Java in 9th century. Even the shifting of the weight is observed in both the figures.
The practical reconstruction goes this way. Urdhvajanu movement is motivated through stamping the floor with the foot. And the kal, tatti in the kal. Then the hands can also perform either Arala Katakamukha or mere Chaturashra and Alapallava. From the Prambanan panel, the sculptures which were found in Prambanan, we get one more version, namely slipping one foot through a long pacing followed by dragging the other as Suchi Pada to the left to be lifted as Urdhvajanu. You lift this leg, then stretch and idu pannume. The other leg, it's repeated on the other side. So this is one more interpretation which we get from the Prambanan sculpture.
ऊर्ध्वजानु तथैवाच ऊर्ध्वजानु तथैवाच.
In Satara, Devi's figure has the right knee in Urdhvajanu position with the respective hand placed in Dola. The left hand is in Katakamukha near the chest and the torso is bent on that side. Shiva's primary hands are the same as those of Devi's. His left knee is lifted with the respective secondary hand hanging in Dola. The other hand is in Rechita while the torso is straight. The movement is a sideward leap. In Prambanan panel, the third figure has only one leg visibly extended and stretched in front of the second figure. The rest of the body is missing. This leg, however, suggests that the movement gains space on the side through skalita or a skating type of movement for one leg. In the case of Prambanan third figure, it is not difficult to conclude that the leg that is seen is the right leg with an unbent knee. This position can be caused only by large spacing through the left foot. The right hand of this figure is seen as Dola in front of the left thigh of the second figure. The right hand and the right leg of Prambanan third figure can be easily mistaken to be those of the second figure. The left leg seems to be common for both the second and the third figure in Prambanan. The next stage is seen in Prambanan first figure, where the already stretched right foot is now seen as Suchi in Mandala Sthana. The right waist is raised, indicating the dragging of the right toe near the left foot. The face is turned towards the left. The left leg of Prambanan first figure is behind the right leg of Prambanan second figure. The right hand is raised to the level of the shoulder, ready for the Vyavarta action. Prambanan second figure is in perfect Urdhvajanu, very similar to the Satara Devi figure. Even the shifting of the torso on the left is amazingly very similar.
Then it is Nikunchitam. Vrishchikam charanam kritva karam parshve nikunchaye nasagre dakshinam chaiva jneyam tattu nikunchitam.
Nikunchitam is that in which the foot performs vrishchikam along with the left hand bent on its side as kunchita and the right near the tip of the nose.
No, mookkite.
So Abhinavagupta says that the Vrishchikam Karanam is to be performed with the hands as Arala. One hand is taken near the side of the head while the other moves from the tip of the nose towards the chest.
Mookkilende chest.
Inge Atikranta panni. Lift it as Vrishchika. So this is Nikunchitam. The Vrishchikam Karana is obtained through the Atikrantachari, and by landing on one foot, the other foot is raised. So this is done with Arala.
Abhinavagupta says, Anyet vahu nasagre ekah pataka anyishcha suchyasya iti. Pataka and suchyasya, like that, there are two opinions irukku kuda Abhinavagupta solran. Apparam idar vinyogathile yatha hanumata yeshosmi vyoma marge பிரசபம் அபிச்சரன் கிம் விலம்பைஹி ன்னு சொல்லி ஏதோ ஒரு டிராமால இருக்கிற ஹனுமான் சொல்றது the aerial movement இங்க சஜஸ்ட் ஆயிருக்குன்னு கூட சொல்றோம்.
Abhinavagupta gives a lot of quotations from Prakrit dramas.
Yes, plenty.
For the usage of Karana.
Yes.
I did not understand Prakrit, so I did not go into that Prakrit examples at all.
And the Prakrita of Abhinavagupta is very difficult, and even the editors have not given any Sanskrit chaya also for that.
So sorry, I don't know Prakrit. But it only shows that during Abhinavagupta's time, there were so many Prakrit Natakas.
Of course, every Dhruva Gita will be in Prakrita.
Yes.
And Prakrita is inseparable part of theatre, and to think that Sanskrit and Prakrita are two
No,
different.
to be part of a Sanskrit theatre is different thing. I have a feeling they had full-length Prakrit Natakas.
They were also present because in the Uparupakas we have Prakrita. And Abhinavagupta in this fourth chapter itself, at the later end, he gives a lot of Dombikas, something like that. Other Uparupakas
Yes.
too, he discusses.
And here he speaks about Hanuman.
Yes,
Yes.
here he speaks about Hanuman.
Hanuman, and that too in Prakrit.
No, it is in Sanskrit. Yeshosmi vyoma marge.
That is
Prasabam
okay.
avicharan kim vilambaihi. That it is
But
from,
the phrase is not Prakrit.
no, it is in Sanskrit Sraddhara meter.
Okay.
It is taken from one unknown Sanskrit drama, perhaps
Some
Maya
drama.
Pushpitakam, or it may be Kritya Ravanam, something like that. Lost drama plays.
निकुंचितो च निकुंचितो च तागतगदिनरा तागतगदिनरा तागतगदिनरा.
Satara Devi's figure shows the beginning of the Atikranta leap on the left with hands near the nose to gain momentum. Shiva's figure shows the stage of landing the left foot and lifting the right in Vrishchika. The hands are like Karihasta. Now coming to the Prambanan figures, this panel was originally identified by Paduka as Vrishchikam. Later, when further investigation was done, she concluded that this must be Nikunchitam. Anyway, the common thing is that both Nikunchitam and Vrishchikam have the Vrishchika Pada in the movement. But in the panel, Prambanan first sculpture, which is amazingly close to the Satara Devi sculpture, clearly suggests the Atikrantachari. So this led Paduka to identify this movement as Nikunchita. Prambanan first sculpture has the right foot turned towards the main figure in a separate slab. The left foot of Prambanan first figure is seen behind the second figure. On a close examination, it is like Satara Devi, and that too on the same side. Both the second and third figures have a very similar posture in Mandalasthana, with the right foot slightly lifted. Both the hands are seen in a downward position. The third figure has a very beautiful smiling face. Second and third of Prambanan portray the stage that succeeds that of Satara Shiva figure. That is, it is portraying almost the end of the Karana where the foot is landed to form a rhombus between the legs.
You would have. Mattalli.
27th.
वामदक्षिण पादाभ्यां घूर्णमानोपसर्पणैः उद्वेष्टितापविद्धैश्च हस्तैर्मत्तल्लियुदाहृतम्.
When the left foot encircles the right and also vice versa. The right encircles the left along with two hands as Udveshtita and Apavidha. This is called Mattalli. This is simple.
More or less close to the chari also.
Yes. And Abhinav Gupta says along with this, Nitamba Hasta can be performed.
Yes. He also says, Bahochanam punaha punaritam kriyeti suchayeti. Many times it has to be repeated. That's why Mattalli in Bahochana. And Madanam Mattam Tanotiti Mattalli. The etymology is given. In intoxicated movement, when it has to be shown, it is Mattalli. Madotkalasya Vipsa Yogena Karanena. And an intoxicated person will not slip once. Will slip many times.
And here they've also mentioned that when the foot is encircled, one can do Udveshtita, the other can do Apaveshtita. So then you'll have the Keshabandha Nrtta Hasta there.
Beautiful, very
So that is one more interpretation. And
Abhinav Gupta gives a hint of the Vinyoga and referring to Nagananda. In Nagananda play of Sriharsha, when Shekaraka comes, who is intoxicated, that is also being suggested. Matta Shekarakadi Vishayosya Prayogaha, like that.
we also have one more interpretation where she uses Lata Hasta. The same movement is done with Lata Hasta. So this is also done. So the leg movement is the same. The hand is interpreted in three different ways.
Depending on the sculptural level.
Yes.
Mattallitu Mattallitu Takita Tomkita Tom.
In Satara, the two figures show the animation of the crossed leg Mattalichari in two stages. The hands are in Lata and they are to be moved with Rechakas resembling Avidha Vaktra. In Prambanan, the main figure is almost a reverse print of that of Satara Devi. The style of the shifting of the weight is practically the same. That is, the waist is raised on the side of the Kunchita foot. This is what is called as Abhasa Bhanga, which emphasizes dynamism. In actual practice, this is possible through Kara Rechita when the elbow is raised in the process of Lata Hasta. There is a perfect Anchita of the head and the movement is seen on the left side with the right foot as Kunchita at the back.
Then is the Ardhamattalli. Skalitapa Sritau Pado Vamahastascha Rechitaha Savyahasta Katistaha Syad Ardhamattalli Tatsmritam.
If the feet get separated from a cross through slipping, and if the left hand is Rechita, up to left and the right is on the waist, this is called Ardhamattalli. Abhinav Gupta does not add any substantial comment in this. The practical reconstruction is the cross of the foot is done in Samasthana. This is seen in the Kumbhakonam figure. Then both the feet are suddenly slipped on their own sides so as to reach the posture seen in Tanjavur. Chidambaram shows the last stage where it is in Mandalasthana. So the hands go Ardharechitam.
Ta dhinna takkata. Ta dhinna takkata.
This can be done in this on the same side and we cover a lot of space with this. This is again Abhinav Gupta says it can be used to depict erotic emotion of the youth or semi-intoxicated stage.
Annamalai University.
Satara Devi figure has the left foot in Kunchita posture behind the right. The waist is raised on the left, suggesting the slipping or dragging of the Kunchita foot to its original side. In the Shiva figure, the two main hands are in Kati Hasta and Rechita. The second left hand is near the chest and the second right hand is raised, showing the possibility of the movement on the other side. The cross of the feet is already released. In Prambanan, the first figure has a Mridangam. All the three figures are in Mandala Sthana with left foot in Agratala Sanchara. The body leans on the left. Figure 1 has the left hand lowered near the instrument. The other hands are not clearly visible, but all the figures are close to all the other sculptures.
Then we are going to Rechita Nikuttitam. Rechito Dakshino Hastaha, Pada Savyo Nikuttitaha, Dola Chaiva Bhaved Vamaha, Tad Rechita Nikuttitam.
When the right foot is performing Nikuttita with the right hand and left hand as Rechita and Dola. This is called Rechita Nikuttita. So you keep doing Nikuttita with the right and left as Rechita and Dola. Abhinav Gupta says that Nikuttitam is Udghattita, which is done with the... Yes. The left hand must sway to and fro as Dola.
Yes. Strilinga Yogena Dola Hastasya Paripolitam Vartanaya Gamana Gamane Suchayati.
Here Abhinav Gupta gives a poetic interpretation for Dola, taking its feminine gender into consideration. He attributes this as the reason for its being moved to and fro. So here Paduka has added lot of Rechakas.
Very
Show the Rechaka. There is Rechita Kati, there is Udvahita Kati, there is Parshvabeda.
And here the Udghatitam is not like how we normally do. It doesn't
Not
produce
strong
any
ones.
sound.
It's more for
Raising and lowering the
Shifting
heel.
the weights.
shifting weight and raising the waist.
It's more of Utkshipta and Patita of the heel.
Very difficult.
It looks very simple, actually it's very difficult.
Yes.
And if it is exaggeratedly done, it will be vulgar.
Yes. It will be jerky.
Mm.
And many times that is the difference between break dance and Karana. Many times it happens so. Slight variations they lead. It is something like the Sakrit will be becoming Shakrit, Phala becoming Pala. Phala fruit, Pala meat. Sakrit once, Shakrit is cow dung. Some variations in pronunciations, how they mean wrongly, so it will be.
Karana 29, Rechita Nikuttakam. In Satara, Devi's figure has the right heel lifted in Agratala in the Mandala Sthana with the waist raised on the right side itself. The body is bent to the left. The left hand has the inward movement of Dola and right is lifted in the process of Rechita. Shiva's figure is in perfect Tribhanga with the right foot as Parshva and the left foot as Trayashra. The waist is now raised on the left with the main hands showing the completed posture of Rechita and Dola as we see in the Chidambaram sculpture. The second right and left hands portray the beginning of Rechita and Dola respectively. The movement involves Rechakas of Pada, Kati and Griva Hastas. This apparently easy movement is actually complicated in practice and needs monitoring by the Guru directly. 30th Karana.
पादापविद्धकम् कार्यो नाभितटे हस्तौ प्राङ्मुखौ खटकामुखौ सूचीविद्धा उपक्रान्तौ पादौ पादापविद्धके.
The hands are activated in the region of the navel as Katakamukha Hastas, with palms outturned, with the feet performing the Apakranta Chari in the forms of Suchi and Viddha in the Padapaviddha Karana. So the Suchi and Viddha becomes the Sthitavarta Chari. And then we finish with the Apakranta Chari. So that is Padapaviddhakam.
नाभिक्षेत्रे पराङ्मुखौ सूच्याख्येन पादेन द्वितीयं पादं विद्धं विधाय. That's what Abhinav Gupta gives the hint rightly. स एव सूचिपाद अपक्रान्तचारी युक्तः कार्यः.
Here Viddha means to place the foot firmly. So the first part of the movement is very light and soft, but after doing the Apakranta, we
That
drop
has to be a strong step.
because it's Viddha, it has to be placed strongly.
तथा परापविद्धकं तथा परापविद्धकं.
Karana 30 Padapaviddhakam. In Satara, Devi's figure shows the last part of the encircling the left leg with the right toe rubbing the ground and the beginning of the Apakranta Chari with the same leg. The hands are in Chaturashra with the body bent on the left. Shiva's leg shows the end of the Chari in Tribhanga and Mandalasthana.
Then we have the Valitam. अपविद्धो भवेद् हस्तः सूचीपादस्तथैव च तथा त्रिकं विवृत्तं च वलितं नाम तद्भवेत्.
The hand performs Apaviddha action in consonance with the Suchipada. Along with the turning of the Trika, this is called Valita. So we have the Suchyasya Nrtta Hasta along with the Suchipada, and then the Trika turned and we finish. So this
There
is
too with
Valita.
the Suchyasya. Finish also with
the Suchyasya Hasta. Abhinav Gupta takes Apaviddha to mean the Suchi Mukha Nrtta Hasta.
Yes.
This is
Suchi Mukha.
Suchyasya Suchi Mukha.
Same.
Yes, Mukha same.
Synonyms.
Yes.
स देहक्षेत्रात् अपसृतः कार्यः तत् समकालं सूचीपादः अपि अनुसृतः ततो भ्रमरिकां चार्यं कृत्वा रीलिङ्ग् अतिक्रान्तक्रमं like that Nrtta is again quoted तदिदं त्रिकवलनाद् वलितं. That is the valita of the katis.
the reeling of the sacrum, the last bone of the vertical.
So the last movement, the last position is what we see in Chidambaram. After the round, this is what is seen in Chidambaram. Karana 31 Valitam. In Satara, Devi's figure portrays the face of the Karana that follows what is seen in Kumbakonam. The body is turned backwards with the torso on the left side, suggesting reeling on the left. The face is turned towards the onlooker. Both the hands are in Suchyasya in front of the chest. Shiva's figure shows almost the end of the movement with the right foot in Suchi and the body turned in front. The Mandalasthana is still maintained. The four hands show Hastakarana rotation.
Then we have Purnitam. Vartita Gurnitasavyo Hasto Vamascha Doritaha Swastikapasritah Padaha Karanam Gurnitam tu Tatu.
Gurnitam is that Karana in which the right hand is activated to whirl. The left hand made to move to and fro with the dola. The feet get released from their cross.
Rounded.
Abhinav Gupta just defines the dola hasta. The three figures that we see in Chidambaram, Tanjavur and Kumbakonam, they reveal the entire course of action as explained. It is a reeling or winding movement where the feet are constantly in touch with the ground. Gurnitam literally means moving to and fro or winding. This Karana involves both these actions. The right foot moves in as swastika and gets moved out as apasrita. In this, there is a dizzy kind of reeling that takes place. The Vyavarta rotation of the right hand from the chest and the loosely hanging dola of the left hand helps in the rotation. It can be performed continuously many times too.
Gurnitam Jiva, Gurnitam Jiva.
In Satara, Devi's figure has the right foot crossed in front with the right hand near the navel and the left hand let loose in dola. The side is bent to the left with the waist raised. The raised waist denotes momentum gained to whirl on the left side. In Shiva's figure, the second right hand is above the head and the second left hand is in dola, raised above the primary left hand which is hanging down. The first right hand shows the end of the rotation. The feet also suggest the end of the reeling. We have Prambanan sculptures for this. Prambanan first figure is holding the mridangam and the third figure is holding talam in the lifted right hand. The center figure portrays the end of the reeling movement on the opposite side.
Then we have the Lalitam. करिहस्तो भवेद्वामो दक्षिणश्च विवर्तितः बहुशः कुट्टितः पादो ज्ञेयं तल्ललितं भूतैः.
When the left hand does karihasta and the right hand gets whirled several times along with the kuttita action of the foot, it is known as lalitam. Abhinav Gupta again takes kuttitam as udghattita.
Yes.
This is repeatedly performed on either feet.
पादश्च हस्तानुसारेण निकुट्टितः पुनः पुनः अन्येन अंगेन.
And the Nrtta hastas involved here are Karihasta, Nitamba and Keshabandha. All the three figures in the sculptures are in Vaishnava Sthana. So the Udghattita is performed in the Vaishnava Sthana. Standing in Vaishnava Sthana, the right foot does Udghattitam with Karihasta. Towards the end of this movement, both the feet raise on the toes and turn to the other side. Now Udghattitam is again performed with Nitamba Hasta. Again raise the toes and finish with Keshabandha.
Here, the employment of Keshabandha Hasta is not given either by Bharata or Abhinav Gupta. How from the sculpture it has been captured?
The Tanjavur figure displays all the three Nrtta Hastas. The lowered right shows the beginning of Karihasta with the raised left hand near the ear. The lowered left hand and the raised right hand both depict Nitamba and Keshabandha. So the Tanjavur sculptures give us an inkling into all the Nrtta Hastas that were used.
Abhinav Gupta, though he quotes from Natyashastra about the Keshabandha Hasta Vigneyo Keshabandho like that, he quotes Evam Prakar Nrtta Hasta Yojana Vartita. But the Bharata, as
Doesn't.
I have discussed often and often, in some cases he gives only one Nrtta Hasta, while in the actual reconstruction of the Karana, 2-3 Nrtta Hastas would have gone in.
So Tanjavur sculpture gives us the other two Nrtta Hastas.
Clue for that.
Here again the Rechakas are very important.
Yes, Tajiti Savilasa
The
Nrtta.
Pada Rechaka. You see the
Full
beauty
movement.
of the Pada,
So the
the
movement goes
twist.
tam, takka, takka, dhin, tak, dhim, tak, ta, kitta, takka, tam, takka, takka, dhin, tak, dhim, tak, ta. We have the Rechaka of the Uras also. When the Nitamba is done, there is a natural Abhugna and Nirbhugna.
So many complicated but
All the Rechakas have to be added. Without the Rechakas,
it
it will be very mechanical.
And that is the uniqueness of Indian art. Whether it is Indian music or Indian dance or Indian poetry or Indian painting, is Vartika Bhanga is somewhat similar to the Rechakas and Gamakas in painting, and also the usage of several alankaras in different shades. The Sankara and Samsrishti that is brought in poetry resembles these Rechakas. All put together, they give different flavor altogether, like a diamond which has been given many cuts from various perspectives. It will shine in different ways, and so no item will be boring. Every item, every movement will be enthralling.
Here again, what is mentioned is only Nikuttita, that is the Udghatita alone. Paduka has added the rise of the toes. Whenever they change from one, see if she does only Udghatita, it will be like Takka Dhimmi, Takka Jannu, Takka Dhim. That's all. It will be a mechanical change of weight. But when both the toes are raised, it gives a smooth flow from one movement to the other.
This is the subtle part of the whole thing.
Which cannot be learnt
Instead of
otherwise.
becoming a mere woodwork, it has become a very poetic movement.
Yes.
It can't be, in fact, notated.
Yes.
These have to be learnt, and they cannot be copied from the video. For sure, nobody can copy from the video and learn Karanas. This is what is happening. It's a very dangerous situation. Unless you learn it Gurumukha,
Yes.
you
Video
cannot.
come as a memory peg, as
Exactly.
a
It's
class
like a
notes.
notation.
Only when you attend the class, the notes
Exactly.
will be of some use. Without Bhashyam Sutram cannot be used.
ललितं च तथा वरो ललितं च तथा वरो
Karana 33 Lalitam. In the Satara figures, Devi figure has the hands in Karihasta. Shiva's figure has the primary right hand in Pataka near the chest and the left hand stretched near the knee. The other two hands are stretched up with the palms facing up. All the four hands represent the animation of Keshabandha. Both the figures suggest the Udghatita action with the right foot. This is another Karana which involves all the Rechakas. We have Prambanan sculptures. As in many other sculptures, the Prambanan's second sculpture looks like a reverse print of the Satara Shiva. Prambanan first sculpture has the legs in Agratalapada Swastika and the hands are holding symbols with cord. The third Prambanan sculpture also has the right foot crossed in the front and the left hand is lowered and broken. The main figure here is in Mandalasthana and has the left foot in Agratala in front. The left waist is raised. The bend of the body is on the right with the right hand lowered near the thigh. As in Satara Shiva figure, this hand is neither Dola nor Lata. The outturned position of the elbow indicates the Nitamba action. The left hand, which is broken, must have been raised like the raised right hand of Satara Shiva.